So, we're out here behind Monique's apartment, and I have a putter. This is called a putter. It's for when you get on the green. It's a golf club. And it just made me think, I have so much experience playing golf. I know, ah, wouldn't say I know every little intricacy, but I do. Um, because my dear old dad drilled me in the intricacies, the ins and outs of the game of golf for years and years and years and years, entirely too long. And in fact, he was the worst micromanager of my golf swing because I kind of had it as a 6 year old. And then because he put so much pressure on me, I started to lose it as like a 10-year old. The kids that I had been beating on the Junior Golf Association tour, the amateur competitions that we had been in, they started beating me. And I used to, it was very, very, very disappointing and disheartening for me and my dad both, I'm sure. But all he really had to do is say, "Hey, Rook," that was his nickname for me. "Hey, Rook, you got this, you got this, you got this." Instead, he would shadow me around the golf course with just blood in his eyes. I remember, yeah, I'll tell you another story about that. But the way he could look at another man, and I, in the case, just a boy, and just with the illest of intentions and scare. I saw much bigger men defer to his to his unspoken violence in his eyes. That man was interesting in that respect because in some other respects he was not necessarily well educated, but well spoken, articulate. He had obtained his license to sell real estate and was doing that while I grew up. And of course, it was the late 70s and early 80s, and it was a high interest rate era where it was difficult to sell property. I mean, if it had been now, who knows what might have happened. But it was, his sales, his commissions were few and far between, and it was difficult for us. And he put all of the money that he made into my golf career, and I fucking hated it. I hated it. I mean, I had a trophy rack full of trophies when I, finally weaseled out of the fucking whole experience at the age of 12 or whatever, and then got back into it as a high schooler. But as a high schooler, I had so much more experience than uh, my fellows on the high school golf team. Plus, he wasn't there, so I played number one on the Tam High golf team as a freshman. I didn't realize how much cachet I had, or how much pussy I could have theoretically have gotten just based on that. I didn't realize. I mean, to me, golf was a geeky sport, and I was a little dude competing against much bigger dudes who were older than me because it's ranked by how good you are, not by how old you are. So I was competing against seniors as a freshman, and these guys were multiple lettermen. They were, on they were quarterbacks on their fucking football teams of their respective schools or whatever. And I was some little newbie, but I was an experienced golfer. And so for that, I thank my dad. I should really, I'm thinking now, put uh, put those years to my own service. I mean, I hope, I would think I would be able to teach someone how to swing a golf club in a really cool way, a cool way, a way that my dad couldn't. You know, I mean, grip it and rip it. That's my whole theory. Especially with kids, there's an instinctive sense of how to swing a club that to make it, to produce the most effective amount of club head energy, club head speed. But anyway, let's talk about this later.